Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Is there anything in the world as bad as a fragrance that doesn't last literally forever? No, okay, yeah. Turns out there are thousands of things worse than that. But for now, we're gonna pretend that's the worst thing on earth, and I'm gonna solve that problem with...
Houston, we have a problem.
Today's fragrances last forever. All of them linked in the description below. You can blast these suckers on and not have to worry about reapplying. We're starting off with one of the most obvious ones in the universe, bros. Sauvage Elixir. Not to be confused with Sauvage Eau Forte, which you wouldn't confuse those most likely, but they both do start with an E after Sauvage, so who knows? Whereas Sauvage Eau Forte will leave your skin sticky and with white globules all over it and smell faintly of a lavender dryer sheet, Sauvage Elixir instead will last all day or night. No problems. No need for boosting. It's okay, sometimes you have some problems with longevity. There are different ways you could deal with that in the fragrance world. Maybe you put a little lotion on before you spray, maybe a little Vaseline, maybe even a fragrance primer, something like Molecule 01, but you don't need any of that with this. Of course, Sauvage Elixir extremely well known. This stuff very woody, spicy, masculine with a pretty good pop of licorice in there as well. You can rock this stuff all fall and winter long, daytime or evening, and it's a good thing it lasts a long time because it is stupidly expensive and also comes in a small bottle. Well, it did on launch. They've since released a larger size bottle, but that's more expensive still, so yay. So one of my favorite things about the new Elixir fragrances is they're all expensive. That's just awesome. I'm also gonna do a giveaway later in today's video with a couple other fragrances, but that will come up in a second. For now, let's talk about this Forever Wanted Absolu by Azzaro. Now, I gotta tell you guys, the opening to this fragrance can be not great for everybody. Grab a little handy dandy tester strip right here, highly scientific. I absolutely don't buy these on bulk from Amazon. Terrible atomizer, shout out Azzaro. Woo! Yeah, the opening has this weird sort of like minerality to it. It's almost icy to an extent, and it has just a bit of an earthiness to it. And so when a lot of people smell this one, as soon as you spray it on, like you blast it and go put your elbow in somebody's nose like a freak, don't do that. But if you do, which I've never done that before, don't ask my wife. She will also say that I've never done that. These are lies! But if you were to do that or just spray it on heavily and, go mingle with people, that opening, it's not gonna be for everybody. We'll say that much. Thankfully, the opening in fragrances usually doesn't last that long. And as this stuff dries down, it smells like 10,000 times better. It gets a nice booziness that comes out. It's warm, a little bit sweet, very sexy and attractive. So spray this one on before you go out. You're golden, which to be fair, normally that's what people do, spray it on before you go out, but super good past that opening. Which fragrance is next? This little weirdo from Mykonos. It's small, it's blue, the name is on the bottom. It's a little sticker that says Inception. Maybe it should be Fragception. It does though say right there on the front, Extrait de Parfum. Nice. This little buddy you can find at JOMASHOP, fantastic atomizer right there. What's the deal with that? The Azzaro over here with the piddly atomizer. It's like a guy with prostate issues or something. Just, and then you have the little tiny Mykonos bottle and it's like, so this dude right here is similar to Imagination by Louis Vuitton. Good amount of citrus off the top, perfect for spring and summer. And a lot of times when it comes to fragrances for higher heat situations, the warmer months of the year, they don't last quite as long as the ones that are more for fall and winter time. This one though does last, which is a big difference from Imagination. It's not exactly the strongest fragrance out there, especially considering the price point. So if you just want the longest lasting alternative to that fragrance, you gotta check this stuff out. And it comes in a little bottle. Now I mentioned this one is at JOMASHOP. This one. Well, guess what? Codes for JOMASHOP. Here they are. You can use these only within the JOMASHOP app. They change every quarter. But if you don't like to shop there, I got you. I've got a 10% off code for FragFlex that you can use anytime you shop there. If you place 25 orders, you can use it 25 times. Also have codes for the Perfume Box, for Gift Express, for Fragrance Lord, and of course, Beauty House. So if you're shopping at any of those wonderful discounters, you can use those codes. The next fragrance, Phantom in Red. Now I know the deal when it comes to Phantom, people say, oh, it's a robot, dude. I don't want the robot bottle. It's for children. It's for small babies. It's for 4-year-olds playing t-ball who go boom boom in their diaper and trip over first base and cry for mommy. Well, it is a robot bottle, so that is true. And it does look kind of a little corny. But look, it's Paco Rabanne, or excuse me, Rabanne. They dropped the Paco. Rest in peace. Well, what I mean is, just, look at Rabanne bottles. It's kind of what they do. At this point, it's like, oh, okay, he's a little eccentric, that guy. Yeah, but he's not hurting anybody. Whatever, leave him alone. And Phantom in Red might be the best Phantom. If it's not, it's right there at the tippy top, which I realize for a lot of people is not maybe saying the most, but to me though, this does smell really nice. Women love this stuff. Really nice balance of sweetness, a little freshness off the top. You have plum liquor in here as one of the notes, which is interesting. Very attention grabbing, very long lasting, and kind of overlooked. It would not surprise me if Phantom goes away sooner rather than later. I could be completely wrong here. It could be going strong 10 years from now. But looking at the sales rankings, Phantom has been on the decline year over year, and their new releases have not been like hitting hard. So, it does make me think kind of on iffy ground. But for now, while the getting is good, this one, for me, is the best Phantom. Long-lasting, attention-grabbing, good versatility, spring, fall, winter. Mix it up a little bit. Check this out, Throne Eclipse. This one is by Maison Asrar. This is one I've always really liked, well, ever since it came out, which to be fair, is not that long ago. I've always really liked it for the past 6 months. Looking at about 40-ish bucks or so for this one, and it's kind of a mix of two fragrances. A concoction, it's alchemy. So it's Altair from Parfums de Marly, which you've probably heard of, and also Blonde Amber by Clive Christian, which has approximately 60,000 clones nowadays. So take those two, put them together, and you get something that lasts forever, that has the better parts of those two scents kind of smashed into one. So off the top, I get a little more of the Blonde Amber. More of that kind of works through, more of that almost, stewed, slightly syruped, fruity sweetness. But then as it dries down, you get more of the PDM that comes out. So even though I don't think it's an official note here, you get that like praline, vanilla, amber sort of mix going on. Perfect for a date, really good for a night out, fall, winter time, perfection. I think that from this house, probably my favorite thing they've done so far. I know what you guys want. I know what you want. Another elixir. Because you're looking over here and you're like, it's just one Sauvage Elixir. How am I supposed to exist without more elixir fragrances? It can't be done. No worries, because check this out. Code Elixir by Armani. Now, when this fragrance was released, a lot of people kind of rolled their eyes a little bit. They thought to themselves, do I really need another freaking elixir? And of course, the answer was yes.
Another one.
At least that's what every brand thinks. They gotta get their piece of the elixir pie. They're all looking around, they're like, man, I wanna release a small bottle for a lot of money. That'd be sick. And that's what this is. This is a small bottle. It does last a really long time though, and it kind of takes the discontinued Code Absolu and retools it a little bit. It doesn't smell the exact same as that one. If you do a 1-to-1 side by side, you're gonna notice a bunch of differences, but you can also tell that they were maybe inspired by their discontinued fragrance from the past. Of course, it's always good to kill something off and then years later be like, well, why did we brought that back, but we changed it a little bit? That'd be pretty cool, right? And we're gonna give it a different name and charge people more for it. They'll love it.
Capitalism, God's way of determining who is smart and who is poor.
So it has officially leather, booze, mandarin orange, and tonka. It's kind of a boring note breakdown, frankly. And it does come across as a more leathery, boozy take on Armani Code. And it does actually work way better than it got credit for when it first came out. Because of course, there was a little bit of backlash towards it and everything, but lasts forever. And I always loved how Code Absolu smelled. So even though it's not the exact same, it's close enough that it can kind of scratch that itch for me, so I dig it. And my wife loves it too, so that doesn't hurt. Oscar up next. This one by Zimaya. It's got like a little, like a rook kind of cap. At least that's what I think of it as. A little chess piece, kind of, sort of, kind of. And since this one is Zimaya, it is cheap, about $25 online. You gotta have something in here inexpensive when you've got the Absolus and the Elixirs and all that stuff, you know. So, I taste it. Tastes like orange, kind of. So this one right here, this smells similar to Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal, the original Scandal. So you have orange off the top, pretty good punch of it actually. Nice citrus off the top, a little bit fresh, sweet, zingy. Has caramel underneath that you can pick up pretty much right away also. Little tonka in there, additional spices, just ultra pleasant. And I will say the original Scandal gets overlooked a lot. You know, a lot of people don't give it the respect it deserves. And if you want to roll with the OG Scandal instead of this one, you want to spend a little more, that stuff works really well. But if you want that on the cheap and you want it long lasting, I'd go with this. Something new, this is Bvlgari Man Wood Essence Parfum. Now, one thing to know about this one, it's not crazy loud. A lot of these fragrances here, they're strong, you know, they project heavily and last a long time. This one lasts a long time and it projects well, but not crazy. This is more trying to be put together, you know, a little bit classy, but you want it to stick around. You don't want it to just be fleeting, you know, 3 or 4 hours or something. One thing you will notice here is they have changed the presentation style. So all the Bvlgari Man fragrances, they traditionally had the cap, or not the cap, the atomizer built in where a cap would be. But now they have done away with that and it has just a normal cap, the normal atomizer in there. Actually like vaguely reminiscent when you look at it like this of the Bentley fragrances, like Bentley for Men and stuff. Because it looks like this big, broad bottle, you know, and then it has like a little atomizer sticking up. It looks like a bodybuilder who has like a tiny little head and a huge body, kind of like that. Somebody out there sees it that way for sure, not just me. And I'll tell you guys, this fragrance is sneaky good. Sneaky good, yeah. Because it's not probably gonna get a whole bunch of hype. I would imagine anyway. It's a Bvlgari Man Wood Essence fragrance at the end of the day. You know, it's never been like a crazy huge line outside of Man in Black maybe. But this right here is just, it's just well done. It's smooth. It has a good punch of fresh spice in there. A little bit of warmth, nice woodiness. Of course, that's in the name. So you have cypress, you have cashmere, you have vetiver, you have cedar, you've got patchouli. So you have all these different woody notes coming together, give it nice depth. And at times, when you smell it kind of in the background, you get a little bit of that like Sauvage Elixir-esque feeling coming through. Now that being said, I don't want you to think of this as, oh, it's just Sauvage Elixir but smoother. Because you have to catch like a big whiff of it and then kind of like on the finish, you get a little bit of that essence, that woodiness that Sauvage Elixir has coming through here, just not as loud, not as like in your face, not as potentially abrasive. And that makes this one just a really nice masculine fragrance. Just something that you can rock spring, fall, winter, maybe summer evenings, that's gonna last a long time and have you smelling like you're making an effort. It's good stuff, surprisingly good. Liquid Brun, this is the big old extrait, the limited edition, coming in the oversized bottle. And this stuff, it lasts a long time. Yeah, when I was first wearing this, I was doing some side-by-sides with the original, and this stuff would just swallow that up. Like you couldn't even smell the OG because this stuff was just trying to take over the entire house. It is pungent. It'll stick around for a long time. Spray it on a jacket, throw that bad boy into your closet, come back 6 months later, you'll still smell it. Probably. I haven't actually tested that. That would be a really weird thing, like I have to test this. So this is really kind of what you would expect from an extrait version of a fragrance, you know? Basically take the scent profile, deepen it up, give it a little more of a woodiness that comes out compared to the original, more complexity. Still has a big old blast of vanilla in here, orange blossom as well. Of course, smells similar to, I'll tell you, So it's that type of fragrance, the PDM. The only potential drawback is it's more expensive because it's the limited edition, you know? So if you're looking for absolute best bang for your buck, I think still the original. Probably gonna be a best bang or a better bang for it's gonna be a better bang for you. It's gonna be a better purchase for most people. But if you don't care about that, you just want the one that's got the most oomph, that has the most complexity to it for what that's worth, this one. Final fragrance, then the giveaway. The final one is this right here, Extra Dose. Another fragrance with a note breakdown that is kind of pathetic. Spicy notes, woody notes, lavender.
Bruh.
You gotta love that note breakdown. Just the amount of effort that Valentino put in on that. They stayed up some long nights trying to figure out, oof, what are we gonna market this as, guys? I can't wait for a big brand, which I assume this is not that far off in the future, but to come out with the fragrance that just has a note breakdown that says spicy notes, sweet notes, woody notes. Like, they almost got it here, but they had to screw the whole thing up and just put lavender in there. Blah. It does have vanilla also for sure. When you smell this, a good dose of vanilla comes out. But this right here, you can rock pretty much whenever you want. Outside of like summer, like middle of summer during the day, because it's pretty loud. But it does have a great balance of fresh plus sweet put together, which people typically go crazy for. And I would say also Born in Roma Intense. That one is my personal favorite. You could rock with that one as well. And pretty much any of the same situations. There is some overlap between the two for sure. All right, giveaway. I got a couple rando fragrances that I have not busted open because I already own them. Opus Magnum, which, whew, strong. And Vulcan Black, Friday, limited edition. Yep, that's the whole name. So these two right here I'll give away to one of you guys out there. Whoop. Still sealed and all that stuff. All you have to do is like the video, be subscribed to the channel, leave a comment. In the comment, let me know what's your go-to long-lasting fragrance. Like if you want something where you know this stuff is gonna last 12 plus hours or whatever, what are you choosing? I will pick a winner with random comment picker, post it up on the post tab of the YouTube channel. I'll probably do like a full month and a half of winners just all at once. Sorry, I clapped, it was loud just now, sorry. So yeah, I'll do that. And if you are the winner, hit me up. I'll ship those out to you wherever you are. Good luck. All right, guys, thank you for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.